What's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and essentially this is just minutes after the new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus was announced. And I just wanted to give my reactions. I took a bunch of notes before everything's been posted on blogs and everything, and this is my reaction to the new iPhone coming out in about a week or two. Actually, pre-order in a week, comes out in 2 weeks. And just from a photographer, video guy's point of view, I've got a couple notes here that I'm just going to kind of, state off and then just go into my train of thought about this. So, what's the new info on the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus, and what is new about it? Let's dive into this now. So if you weren't following the keynote, let me kind of catch you up. So, Apple does essentially every September, they have their keynote to announce their new products. And with this keynote, I'm going to basically just be touching about the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus, like I said in the intro. But there's new Apple TV for like $200, and that's a really cool thing. The new iPad Pro, which is like a 12 or 13-inch screen with new keyboard that essentially is trying to rival over other tablets, and that's about $700 or something like that. But I wanted to tackle the new iPhone 6s because I am an iPhone 6 user. I literally got it almost the day it came out. I had to wait till the next day. But that is, as a photographer and video guy, that is part of my business and my lifeline. I love Instagram. I love taking photos, capturing memories. So it's essential to what I do, or just a good phone in general. So I am an iPhone guy. I'm not necessarily an Apple head, but this is something that's really popular. It's one of the best-selling smartphones of all time. So what do we have right now? So essentially the 6s is going to be the 4.7 inch. It's essentially going to replicate the same size as the other previous iPhones with the 6 and the 6 Plus. So that's not new. It's going to run the iOS 9 straight off, so you don't have to download it. It comes pre-installed, so that's a cool thing. It's going to have a couple new features. So it's got a new aluminum. I think it's called their 7000 series of aluminum, so it's built a little better, built differently, so you don't get the whole bend gate with the Plus version, which I'm actually thinking about. I might do the Plus version just because it's a little larger. I think it's a 5.5 inch screen, but you're getting a new multi-touch or 3D touch, and this is your gesture touch. This is what a ton of people wanted. This is the Force Touch and 3D touch that people wanted. And what I like is in the demo, obviously I don't have the video, I don't have the rights to the video, and I don't want to run that, but essentially it's, the gestures you have, the impressions that you touch and how hard you touch will incorporate different things. And one of the cool things they were showing is maybe going into the Maps icon, and without even actually going into the icon, you take a peek into it by doing a light touch, or by holding and doing a light touch, or you can set a pin right from there. You don't have to launch the app. Everything isn't app or Safari based. That's one of the big things. So mail, another thing to me was if I have my mail open and I'm looking through things and I don't know which mail I want to do, you can briefly, gently look in without actually opening the mail. So little tweaks like that have really impressed me, and that's going to be something, especially photo wise, that's really going to help me. It's really going to be the shortcuts to the apps and even some of the inter-app things that it's really going to help out. So the Force Touch, which I didn't really understand at first, but the demonstrations, reading up on it a little bit before, really kind of are a big deal to me. Now, one of the most annoying things is, obviously, as an iPhone user or Apple user, to open up all your apps that are running in the background, you'd have to double click the home button. Well, you can still do that, but now all you do with their new touch is you kind of just touch towards the edge and it launches it, so you're not bashing the heck out of your home button to do that. Now, I still wish that they, were able to do all apps at once. I know if you could, jailbreak it and do Cydia, there's apps where you could, shut off all at once without having to swipe up on each one. They still didn't do that. So, I don't jailbreak my iPhones, but that's just something still to know as well. New processor. They're going to have their A9 third generation 64-bit processor. New transmitter, faster use. They say it's 70% faster than their A8 that they put into the iPhone 6, and 90% faster in regards to graphics. They showed some games and stuff like that, and it looked like it held well with movement blurs, particle effects, explosions, and everything of that nature. So it looks like it's going to handle, your phone gaming, video viewing, and everything in a much better result. The cool thing that I think is now, instead of having to kill your Bluetooth and your battery, which they didn't necessarily cover on the battery unless I missed something, but they're going to have their new M9 motion trick and motion chip, which is going to be built into your phone now, essentially right next to the processor actually, and it's going to be your fitness tracker. So it's always on, it's always there. Now it's standard and it's in, so like you could sync it up between your all of your other devices that you're using to track your fitness, in cases like that. They've got a new Hey Siri feature, which is going to be part of their iOS 9 overhaul essentially, so that's what you're going to see right there. And then we really got into the new Touch ID, which I don't use anyway, but I'd say it's 2 times faster. It's the new second generation Touch ID. But here is what you are from, why you're watching my channel, why you might be doing this, and it is because it's their camera, their photos, and video. So what's new about these? Their camera has an all-new isight camera. So this right here is definitely new. Thing to note though, this is still raised, so I always buy cases anyway that don't have that hindered, but if you want a clean back, it's not going to happen yet, so they still have that raised, which to me doesn't matter. 12 megapixel camera, so you get a bit of a bump, up in regards to that, but people might complain, well, that might increase your noise or some of the detail, and it doesn't because of the way that they used a deep trench isolation, which separates the photodiodes. It's one thing they said to mention because I don't really know what that does, but essentially it doesn't jumble and mix all of the ions together and bleed in. So you're going to get more accurate, better detail, low light photos. And there were some amazing photos. I know they only showcased the amazing ones, but they were taken by photographers and mixed with natural light to like dark ambient light. The skin tones looked phenomenal. So I'll cover that in a second when I say I'm going to get to this. So you're going to get better performance, and it's just going to be a fantastic camera. So in regards to that, let's also talk about the front-facing camera for your selfies. It's going to be a 5 megapixel HD camera. I think that's going to be 1080p. So if you want to do like front videos and stuff like that, so that's going to be also cool. Now, before I get into the video, which is one of the other most exciting things, probably the second most exciting thing in regards to this creatively wise, is that you're going to have you have your true tone flash on the back. That's what they called it before. And it's split up. So it matches the flash with the ambient light. So you get a more accurate flash, which I never thought was the best. Well, if you have a, phone in the front, you get a flash from the front as well. And it looks like guff. It doesn't look that good. Now on their Retina displays, it's actually for doing selfies only, obviously. For doing selfies, you're actually going to get a flash that's 3 times brighter off of your screen to do selfies. So when you're in selfie mode and you want to take that, you can set your flash and the screen will pop, not a little thing. The screen will go off in better dark situations. And I think that's a really cool technology that should have been in there before, but hey, now it is there right now. So there's other, one more cool thing besides the little other things, but the video, going to shoot your 1080p at 60 frames, and it's going to do 4K video. One of the biggest things people wanted, it's cool to have, but it's going to eat up a lot of memory inside your phone. So keep that, keep that as well. And one of the things that they kept stressing was that you can edit this in iMovie on your iPhone since there's a better graphics chip and a better processor in regards to this, that you can do that. So that's one thing that they really were trying to stress in this situation. But one thing that could be seen as kind of gimmicky or, maybe not cool is a new thing that they have that basically uses the 3D touch, and it's called live photos. And I actually think this live photos is pretty badass. And essentially it kind of looks like a GIF where, it doesn't loop or necessarily, but essentially all you do is you're taking a photo, regularly. So you just take a photo. And what it is, it's just an option up top. It's like these little 3 yellow circles, and that's pretty much on all the time. And what it does is it's taking a second or a second and a half, I think you mentioned, at the front and the back end of your photo-wise. It's not a movie. It's still a photo. They're kind of like bracketing it, and it creates a live photo. So essentially what you would do is you would find it in your camera app, whatever you did, and you would just press on it using the Force Touch, and it would actually play a clip, even though they're just photos, and it can have sound as well. So Facebook's going to be looking into this that they mentioned, and I'm sure Instagram will be doing this as well, and I think that's a really cool thing to capture. You still get your 12 megapixel full image, but you're also going to get that other option as well in a short burst memory, which I think is really, really cool, and it's going to interact with your Apple Watches and iPads and everything of that sort. So really, those are the most important things, the most exciting things. I'll get to pricing in 1 second. I know you can read all this, but I just really wanted to react to this. Better wireless. It has 23 bands now at the top of the phone, so it's pretty much one of the most popular ones out there. 866 megabytes per second with Wi-Fi speed, so that's cool. They mentioned different apps. The one funny thing was mentioning that if you're an Android user and you want to switch to iOS, there is an app in the Android store to basically prep for your switch to iOS by downloading that as well, and it transcodes everything to iOS. So, strong glass. And all right, so we'll cover the pricing here because I think that's what a lot of people wanted to hear and when this is coming out. So the pricing of the iPhone 6, let's say, so when I got this was $199 for 16 gigabyte, 64 and 128 gigabytes. So I'm just going to list the three prices. Was $199, $299, $399. The 6 Plus was $299, $399, $499. Now the 6S and the 6 Plus are going to do something great, and it's going to be the exact same price. Thank God that they are smart with that. I mean, they could have easily raised it $100 and still people would have went crazy like me, because I'm getting this hopefully on the day it comes out or the next day like I did with this, because it's invaluable to my business and what I do in everyday life. So, it's going to have that. The iPhone 5S is now going to be your free entry your iPhone upgrade. So if you want to get into the iPhone game, that'll be free. The iPhone 6 will be $99, and the 6 Plus will be $200. So you can go from there. And then they mentioned, all depending on what carrier you have, but everyone's doing the installment plans. Like I'm doing this next program, I think, with AT&T, who's my provider. And, you pay per month for the value of the phone. So, they're saying that with the 6S Plus, it'll be $27 for starting off, and to $31 a month, all depending on which phone you get, what size, and you can go from there. So, new iPhone every year. This is an option for you. The pre-order date is September 12th, which is in a couple days, actually, on Saturday, I think. And then September 25th is when they are available. And hopefully, I think that's on a Friday, and hopefully I will be getting out of work, driving to AT&T, and going there. So that's all your news, in regards to the new iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. As I said, when I get hands on this, hopefully within the day or the day after, I'm going to do the unboxing, go in-depth reviewing it, and show you the photo and video, because there's a lot of exciting things, and I want to see the 4K video. But I don't think the 16 gigabyte model is going to be of use anymore, unfortunately. I've always stuck to that, but even knowing photos and some upgrades that they give, you run out of space rather quickly. So I may have to go bumped up a size, and unfortunately it's like $100 more, but we'll see if I'm going to do that. So I'm going to give you the full review when I get this phone, because I tell you, I'm easily going to get this phone. I have to, for what I do in everyday life. I don't collect every single phone, but the upgrades in this are way more exciting than I've ever seen in anything else that I've gotten before. I've jumped from an iPhone 4 or 4S, I forget which one it was, to get the iPhone 6, because I felt the 5 and the 5S were just meh. They didn't offer much to me. So that's it from there. I'm going to grab the new phone. We're going to do full reviews. I'm going to show you photos, videos, speed, and let's go about here. What are your thoughts down below? Is this something exciting for you if you're an Apple user? I know if you're an Android user or someone who doesn't like Apple, you're obviously going to hate this, but, obviously, you know what you're expecting when you click on this video because it says it in the title. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is this exciting? Are you going to jump from your iPhone 5S, 5, 6 to grab this newest phone? I am. I'm excited. I am. Thank you.